नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Sarvangjapita Yajamans, Nitya Satsangis, Shri Mahants, Mahants, Kotaris, Tanidars, devotees, disciples, visitors, viewers, YouTube subscribers, everyone sitting with us all over the world through Nityananda TV, Facebook Live and through two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha. Cities sitting with us, long list, so I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Today, Skanda Sashti Mahotsavam, 4th day celebration. As part of the 4th day celebrations of Skanda Sashti Mahotsava, Subramanya, Kartikeya, Skanda is gracing on Swarnamayura Vahana, a golden peacock vehicle in Sarvalankara, special lotus garland. Skanda, completion of Sadashiva with Valli and Devasena, is gracing all of us. Let's receive his blessings and then enter into satsang.
Om Dhura Sidhura Dhura Dhura Deyo Dhura 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 Devana अथ दीपः ओम दीप्यस्वजात वेदो पग्नन्निर्ममा पशुगुष्टमह्यमावह जीवनन्तियोदिश मानो हिगं जीजात वेदो कामश्वं पुरुषं जगते अभिप्रदग्नागीष्यामा परिपातय वल्लीदेवसेना समेत सुब्रह्मण्य स्वामिने नमो नमः एकः दीपं सन्दर्शयामि नैवेद्यं वस्त्राय नमः ओम मधुवातारताय ते मधुक्षरन्निसिन्दवः माध्वीन सन्तोषधीः वर्णमतोसरिमधुरत्पार्थिवजः मदध्योदस्तिनः पिता मधुमानो वनस्पतिर्मधुमानं सूर्यः मादीर्घावो भवन्तु नः माधो माधो माधु वल्लीदेवसेना समेत सुब्रह्मण्यस्वामिने नमो नमः नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि महासेनाय धीमहि तन्नः सुब्रह्मण्य प्रचोदयात् तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महासेनाय धीमहि तन्नः सुब्रह्मण्य प्रचोदयात् कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी हैतं नमामि भवं भवानी हैतं नमामि भवं भवानी हैतं नमामि
Yes. I'll continue to expand on decision fatigue. We had a lot of questions from some of the Adinavasis and Mahants, and we have evolved a new team called Integrity Team in the Sangha, which maintains the integrity to all departments. Like, if we commit to pay something to a vendor, it should be paid. If we get committed from a vendor to deliver certain things, it should be delivered. And if an Adinavasi commits to something, some work to be done, it should be supported and made to happen. So we were having discussions yesterday with that integrity team. Some questions came up. I'll answer.
Is decision fatigue the cause of the feeling of no time available for doing a task?
Yes. First thing, understand. If you think you are doing too much, for example, I am talking from the examples of what our Sangha is doing, then I'll extend it to all different levels. Even the last blue collar job person, or a black collar job person, not even blue, even black collar job person does not need decision fatigue. I'll explain how further. First, let me explain it for this white collar person. Whatever we are doing in our Sangha, if you make 5 phone calls, this hall will be built. But when you imagine you built this hall, or you are building this hall, 2000 times you think about you building, you are building, you are building. You are in that same rut, same thinking for 3 days and did not even make the first step of moving and doing a first call. Now this is what exactly happening. I call it pornography satisfaction. If I have to put it bluntly, watching pornography for 10,000 years and getting satisfied is not going to bring you a child. Most of you think. You became a thinking thing. Does not even do the first step. And you feel no time for anything. I am running around here and there. I don't know why. I am doing Swamiji, but no time. It is like this stray dogs, some are running around in the biddi. Whole day they are running around. They are too busy. What they have done? Nothing. And then end of the day, if you ask him, what you have done? I went to 8 places and raised my leg and made the ground wet. And do you know how difficult it is to choose the 8th place? There is so much of dilemma, conflict. This place, that place, that place, that place. And you are so stupid, not even interested in look at the reality. See, yesterday you had the world and you had you. What did you do to manifest Sadashivatva in you and into the world? Nothing. Today you have the world and you have you. What did you do to manifest Sadashivatva in you and in the world? Nothing. The same thing continues because you can't digest, you are not doing anything. Then start building lies. Start building lies. From the shoulders of Hanuman you can attack Ravana, but from the shoulders of lie you cannot attack reality. This concept of no time available is actually you denying the reality and Kalabhairava taking revenge on you. It is like a complete chaos. You don't know what is going on. You don't know what is your purpose. See, understand? This is the way every day you should measure yourself. What is the purpose of life? Manifesting Sadashivatva in me and helping others to manifest Sadashivatva. Understand? Whatever profession you may be, that can be aligned to this word. Even if you are a lawyer, you can align your life to this vision statement. Whether you are an engineer, doctor, lawyer, IT consultant, anything, even a media person, anything, you can align and iron out yourself, manifesting Sadashivatva. An ordinary act as simple as while your car is standing in the signal, somebody stretches their hand, knocks your window and you lower the glass and give 10 rupee or 1 rupee. Even that act can be from the compassion of Sadashivatva. Instead of being from a they are asking you, or your girlfriend is sitting in the car, so give. You can give for multiple reasons. Even that small act should be aligned to Sadashivatva. So everything can be aligned to Sadashivatva. Everything can be aligned to Sadashivatva. If you can't align it to Sadashivatva, listen, you will be just confused, running around, you don't know what you are doing. That is what is called hell. It's a punishment given by Kalabhairava for you not being integrated. Like a mad dog you run, you don't know why. This is the scale to measure your life. My goal is to manifest, radiate Sadashivatva in me and others. Support others to manifest Sadashivatva. Live enlightenment, help others live enlightenment. For this goal, yesterday I had myself, life. What did I achieve? Today I have myself and life. What am I going to achieve? This is the way every day of your life should be measured. This is the scale with which you should decide whether your self is worth or not. The self-worth cannot be decided by the zeros you have in bank balance, or the hero or the heroine next to you. No. If you decide your self-worth based on your boyfriend or girlfriend, that is the hell. Just like Garuda Purana describes the hells you go after you die if you commit sins, I can describe the hells you live. 35 hells you live if you commit sins while you are living. Hell number 1, identifying or understanding or thinking about your self-worth based on your boyfriend or girlfriend. Hell number 2, thinking about your self-worth based on the zeros you have in your bank balance. Hell number 3, not having any clarity about what you want or integrity about who you are and running around like a mad dog. Sorry, mad dogs. Worse than the mad, I think better we have found yesterday one brand, Triple Dash and whatever, okay. So running around like that stupid and not even realizing the stupidity, it is like a, Ramakrishna says beautifully, if somebody is fully drunk and don't know what he is doing, where he is doing, and where he is, what he is, so pour water on his head and make him drink either neem juice or the rice water, the water which is taken out when you cook the rice kanji or neem juice. If you make him drink and pour water, everything will be cleared. Of course, after that he will shout at you, oh, you wasted 2000 rupee. It took 2000 rupee for me to get into that state, and you brought me down with a 20 rupee neem juice. How he needs neem juice or pouring water on his head to get into the ground reality. You need this basic truth. What is exactly happening in my life? What is my purpose? Am I able to convince myself that what I am doing is manifesting Sadashivatva in me and helping others manifest Sadashivatva? If I am not convinced, am I going to drill myself and convince, or am I going to change what I am doing? Somewhere I have to come to completion. Understand? I am not promoting anything immoral, illegal, social, anti-social and all that. All I am trying to tell you is, whatever you are doing, if you bring the right understanding, you can realize ultimately you are manifesting Sadashivatva in you and making others manifest Sadashivatva. If you are feeling it is not happening, somewhere something is missing, that there is a link missing, then a simple answer, change it. But be aligned to manifesting Sadashivatva. Feeling of no time available is the lowest level of integrity. I tell you, if you feel I am not having enough time, understand you are having lowest level of integrity and you are thinking the same crap inside your head 3000 times, did not even make the first call to make it into reality. You are thought pornography addict. New word I am developing. Listen. Thought pornography addict. 2000 times you will think about how to make this sabha, this hall. You will not even make a single phone call to get the Yellow Pages book to you to call the contractor. It is called thought pornography addict. Terribly confused, utterly disconnected, highly educated. If you want to see these specimens, you can see in the people who claim, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. I tell you, the highest wealth is taking life casually, and you know you have plenty of time and your goal is very clear, and you can go on be doing what you have to do, what you want to do, which is ground reality based, using this body and mind you have. And when this body and mind is worn out, you can drop it and pick up another one body and mind and continue to do what you are supposed to do. This is the greatest luxury you can have in life. I am very clear. What I want to do, I will be happily doing, continuously doing, as long as this body can handle through this body. Then I already planned through my deities I will start doing. I will let this body rest and through my deities I'll be doing. And it's all very clear. Be very clear. In your case, you may not be able to do it through your deities because nobody will be keeping it, nobody will be having it. That's different. But at least you can be very clear that you can take next birth and next body and start. Being very clear about all this makes time available for you. I tell you, this idea of no time available is the symptom of the lowest level of integrity in thinking. Like if somebody has a tumor, pain is the symptom. Same way, if you have this idea no time available, that is the symptom that you are having the tumor of non-integrity in your being. Otherwise, there is no such thing as no time available. You are addicted to thought pornography. And thought pornography literally paralyzes you. You will never be able to make even 1 step or 2 second step in making the things happen. The feeling of no time available is equivalent to thought pornography. Is equivalent to thought pornography. Next question.
Is decision fatigue the cause of feeling overwhelmed?
I can tell. Decision fatigue is the only cause of feeling overwhelmed. I think I already answered this question in the last question itself. Addicted to thought pornography. The moment you hear, Swamiji asked me to build 20,000 square feet meditation hall. I have not even built 2,000 square feet home in my life, in my house. It is first time. I don't know what I am going to do. I never did this. As if I conducted Sadashivoham 23 times and I am conducting 24th time. Life itself you are living for first time. Every day is first time. Without understanding is 20,000 square feet meditation hall, what am I supposed to do? First phone call. Get me yellow pages. Second phone call. Call the contractors. Third phone call. Sit and talk to them and study. Fourth phone call. Try to make deeper understandings and pen down a contract. Instead of doing all drama, you are not in the space of Kannaki, where husband is dead and life is over, or you are not in the space of Draupadi, where your dress is being pulled and you are in the Sabha. No. Doing all Kannaki Draupadi drama just for building a 20,000 square feet meditation hall. I never did even 2,000 square feet. I don't even know what is 2,000 square feet. How am I going to do? Overwhelmed. Understand, overwhelming is nothing but saying no to life. Listen. Better mark these points today, Facebook status for all of you. If you feel that no time available for you in life, make this line as a Facebook status. Feeling no time available is equivalent to thought pornography addict. Second, feeling overwhelmed Listen carefully. This feeling overwhelmed is equivalent to saying no to life. When Isavasya Upanishad says, Tena tyaktena munjidamakritakkasya sviddanam guruvanne vega jijivishet chatagnu samaha evam dayinanyadedosti karma lipyate. Live hundreds of years means do not feel overwhelmed. Don't say no to life. Say yes to life. Feeling overwhelmed is one of the worst cunning way of saying no to life. Don't do that crime to yourself. It is a sin against yourself. Atmahadya papa. Atmahadya dosha. Feeling overwhelmed is equivalent to saying no to life, and Atmahadya, saying no to life. Don't do Atmahadya, means saying no to life. Feeling overwhelmed develops a strong powerlessness pattern in your system. A very strong powerlessness pattern, which will be costly, which will be costly, which will be costly. Listen, which will be costly. Third, next question.
Is decision fatigue the cause of feeling complexity of decisions?
No, listen. Here you need to understand many things. Decision fatigue is not the cause of feeling complexity of decisions. It is actually you believing stupidly there is a complexity in decisions. There is no complexity in decisions. It is all about addicted to thought pornography. If I get into Vaidya Sarovar, what will happen? If I walk straight, what will happen? What will happen? Nothing. You will get in and find out that there is no road further. You will come out and walk into this road. There is water. If I fall into that, I can't breathe. My lungs will be choked. Water will get into my lungs and I will die. You are a man. You are not going to collapse into water. And it's not that nobody is going to get you out. First of all, the water in the Vaidya Sarovar is not enough to kill somebody. There are tons of other things. You always have a law in you. Anything can go wrong, will go wrong, which is not true. Anything can go wrong, will go wrong is not true. Anything can go right, will go right only is true. If anything can go wrong, will go wrong means no one can exist. There are multiple larger than planet Earth size stones moving around in the cosmos, the Milky Way. Any one taking diversion is enough. The Earth will not be there. Listen, there is no such thing as complexity of decisions. Hey, I am telling you, the highest complex decision your brain can take is being taken every moment in you, because your lungs have to function, pump in and bring prana, your stomach has to function and convert the blood into blood, your nervous system need to function to move your body as you want, and your Electric signals in your brains need to continue to be alive to give the commands and coordinate all these. You don't know what a complex system you are. If you are still alive, greatest complexity decisions are being made every moment. The problem is, as long as you think it is you, for you, you don't become tired. When you think it is for others, even a small decision like moving this cup from here to there, you want salary. Forget about salary. You think you have done something great and now everyone has to do Pada Puja to you. Everyone has to pamper you. You are worthy of pampering, getting pampered. Whatever is not available to others should be made available to me. Whether it is a resource or everything. Listen carefully. This is one of the worst Maya matrix, steals your life from you. The worst thing is, see, any structure which reveres you, gives you the best if you are integrated. That is outside the matrix structure. That's the Kailasa, Zion. But if you are able to manipulate, play around without becoming integrated, sucking all the resources and being celebrated and enjoying everything, means it is within the matrix. The problem is not that you cheating and having all the resources under you, you not realizing you are within the matrix. Wherever integrity becomes the decision-making factor of getting pampered, supported, praised, that is the space of Kailasa, the space of Zion. If not, I tell you, if you are able to manipulate some place, some structure, some organization without integrity, unable to have everything there, then you are under the matrix. You are the loser, not anybody else. Loser is you, not anybody else. First of all, there is no such thing as complexity of decisions. You believing there is complexity of decisions, I tell you, if at all decision fatigue is true, decision fatigue can destroy your health and you will be suffering. If decision fatigue is true, I should have died 11,000 times by now. For the number of decisions I make every day, every moment, which is costly for somebody's life or my own life. I am not making decisions just which is related to few lakh, few crore. I am making decisions which is related to millions of lives. One decision I make changes the whole direction of people's life. Such serious decisions. But no fatigue. It's not that I am too casual about it. I am very sincere about every decision I make. Highly micromanaging. The effort I put to move Rahu or Ketu, and the effort I put to heal a small headache of a person, in both my sincerity does not change. My micromanaging, sincerity does not change. But there is no complexity of decisions. There is no decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is nothing but you believing something is your own and something else is not your own. When you remove that, love can be an amazing lubrication, antidote to liberate you from decision fatigue. Actually, this should be the first lesson in all our gurukuls, universities, colleges, everywhere. This should be one of the important lessons. Do not cheat yourself and others in the so-called project planning. Still, I am not able to understand. Any plans done, never executed. And people are tired. How the modern day medicines are developed not to cure you but to maintain you. All the corporate projects are developed not to make things happen but to make everyone feel your importance. Thousands of complexity in decisions are created not for making things happen but to make everyone feel your importance. The only table where files don't stand or get stuck is Swamiji's table. The only man who takes largest number of decisions, Swamiji again. Then where is the complexity of decisions? If you are having the complexity of decisions means, I am talking about in our Sangha, means somewhere integrity to execute is not the priority, your importance is priority. It is all about me, not the ground reality happening. Complexity of decisions is nothing but complexity of your individual identity. Next question.
Is decision fatigue the cause of feeling confused?
Decision fatigue and feeling confused are not even cause and effect, it is one and the same. The relationship between decision fatigue and feeling confused is not the relationship like a cause and effect, it is the relationship of oneness. Understand? The relationship between me and Sadashiva is not cause and effect. It is not that Sadashiva is cause, I am effect. No. It is feeling of oneness. Understand? The relationship between me and Sadashiva is not cause and effect. It is feeling of oneness. Same way, the relationship between decision fatigue and feeling confused is not cause and effect. It is feeling of oneness. Next.
Is decision fatigue the cause of loss of memory?
Loss of memory which you need to remember and remembering the things which you never need to remember. I know some fellows who can remember all the stupid things which is not necessary for their life. The ideas which puts them in powerlessness, they remember 25,000 times within 25 minutes. It's like you had a tiff with your girlfriend and you don't pick up the phone call, see the messages till next day morning. 400 times she would have broken up with you and patched up with you. No, I am not. This fellow I cannot tolerate. No. Who else is there? Only this fellow. Otherwise I will feel lonely. No. I am breaking up. It's okay. Cute guy. I can manage him. No, I am done with all this. I am done. Okay. Then you pick up next fellow. Is he going to be different? All right, let's send the message. Okay, I am okay with you. Then, no, I have decided I cannot go on like this. I am not all this dash words which is used only in the Facebook. And then I am breaking up with you. I am calling it off. It's all over now. Forget about me. Maybe 30 seconds. No. I have given too much of myself to him and he has given too much of himself to me. Now it is too difficult to break up. No, 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 okay, all right, let's work it out. Let's meet tomorrow morning. Next message. No. How many meetings? It's not going to work out. The same thing we are repeating now. 47,338 times. No, don't feel what I am saying is exaggerated. See how it is happening in your life. Remembering all the things which is not necessary to be remembered, which constantly puts you in powerlessness. Remembering all that and remembering what is, listen, remembering whatever puts you in powerlessness and not remembering what is actually your life's mission is what I call loss of memory. Apasmara. Apasmara is the Anga Devata of decision fatigue. Understand? Feeling confused is the oneness of decision fatigue. Apasmara, loss of memory, is the Anga Devata of decision fatigue. Today, I am going to be personally conducting Vakyartha Sadas on this for Nityananda Yogam participants. Because this will really help people to understand integrity. If this one is understood, you literally get your life back. You get your life back. People come and ask me, how did you do so much work, Swamiji, in such short time? Only one reason. By the grace of Sadashiva, I did not hear about the idea or the word called decision fatigue. The fellows who have decision fatigue are chandalas. Kandu muttu, kettu muttu. Don't see them. If you see them, take bath once. If you talk to them, wash your mouth and ears once. If you touch them, go and take bath in Ganga. The decision fatigue people are chandalas. They are the, what do you call this? They show vampires, am I right? That energy suckers. People who suck energy. The decision fatigue fellows are energy suckers. Don't allow them near you. Don't go near them. Don't be like the one. Next question.
Is follow-up of a job also a small decision and no reason for fatigue?
Yes, I tell you, even during follow-up, you should be very clear you are only talking. The other person only should get agitated. He should be afraid that he should not be called again for follow-up. You should not be incomplete. That is why you see, some job which I have given when the Sangha started, still I am following up. 14 years before some of the jobs given to some of the people, still I am following up and I will continue to follow up. Follow up is as small decision as exhaling. Giving instructions is as small as inhaling. It has no reason for fatigue. Next.
What is the difference between Varnashrama Brahmin wisdom and Chandalatva of decision fatigue?
First thing, understand. A Brahmana who lives the Brahmanatva, a proper Brahmanatva, will go on be making decision and grounded in reality, will never get caught into this matrix. You see, actually, a Brahmana established in Brahmanatva runs the whole kingdom and the society by making decisions. But he cannot even afford to think he should be pampered. That is why he is deciding to live in poverty forever and sambhavana forever without charging or making any money equivalent to his services. Understand? The moment a Brahmana decides his service is equivalent to certain money, and he himself starts believing he is no more a Brahmana, he is Chandala, he will develop decision fatigue. He will develop decision fatigue. But the person who is grounded in reality goes on making decisions and supporting the society and country to flourish. He should be showered all the respects and all the best things should be given to him. But he himself never falls into decision fatigue. Chandalatva of decision fatigue is nothing but, as I said, thinking too much about yourself. Just because you gave an idea about how a temple should be constructed and somebody else is constructing, you can't think you did it. You constructed it. So understand, such large temples our masters, our kings, our gurus built, rarely in one corner of one pillar only you can see their statues. That is so small, negligible. You have to do so much research to find where Rajaraja's statue is in Tanjavur temple, where Vallala Maharaja's statue is in Tiruvannamalai temple. Because they never had a decision fatigue. If they had decision fatigue, they would have thought they are too big guys and would have put their statues prominently in a big way. So Chandalatva of decision fatigue is based on arrogance and ego. Varnashrama Brahmanatva is based on grounded reality. And I also want to make this statement. The caste system of the West, the understanding of the caste system of the West has nothing to do with Indian Varnashrama Dharma. And I am making it very clear. We Indians, the idea we are fed, the idea we are carrying about the Varnashrama Dharma is the byproduct of the atrocity literature generated and dumped on us. How? The foreign countries' medical wastes and atomic wastes and other wastes are being exported into this country and dumped in different corners. Same way, the atrocity literature was created on tons and tons for us to lose our original identity and dumped on our head. So all the wrong ideas you have about the Varna and Ashrama caste system is the side effect of the atrocity literature. Conspiracy. The disease spread through a proper conspiracy, organized conspiracy. The real Varnashrama Dharma as defined in our Smriti, Shruti, Puranas and Agamas is a best social structure, and me and my Sangha forever stands by the Varnashrama Dharma defined in our Shruti, Smriti, Purana and Agamas. If a Brahmana did not do his job, he should be educated to do his job, not that he should be destroyed. No, he should be supported and educated. If a Vaishya is not doing his responsibility, he should be supported. Not that he will destroy the whole system. No. If a Kshatriya is not doing his job, he should be supported. Understand? The fault lines which did not exist were generated, manipulated, and told to you falsely with enormous amount of atrocity literatures. Enormous amount of atrocity literatures. Now I am building a library, so I am understanding. All the available authentic Hindu literature and all the available atrocity literature, both I am collecting. The atrocity literature seems something like 3 times more than available authentic Hindu literatures. What we have done for last 60,000 years, these fellows were able to outdo that by 2 methods. Generating large atrocity material and destroying the authentic material. Oh, wow. What a worst thing happened to us. Oh Hindus, wake up. Give me your hand. It is time. I need more hands to revive this authentic tradition. I am not asking money. I am asking, give me your hand. If you can't, at least give birth to few kids and give the kids to me. I'll bring them up and let us have hands for next few 100 years. We need to build the authentic literatures and the translations. Understand, all the authentic literatures are not even transcribed into Devanagari. It is just sitting in Granda. All the atrocity literatures are translated in multiple international languages and available all over the internet. The diamond is a small half-an-inch piece and the shit dumped on it is 20 ton. How will the diamond shine? And then you declare to the world, diamond does not exist and it does not shine. It looks almost reality because of the shit dumped on the diamond. When I am collecting only, I understand. Authentic literature available, if that takes million square feet building, the atrocity literature available needs almost 5 million square feet building. Concept of sati, concept of Devadasis, concept of caste, concept of cow worship, whatever you know as on now, is the byproduct of atrocity literature, not the way originally it existed. Devadasis don't touch other than the deity. They are virgins. But you have been told they are prostitutes. No. Court dancers are separate, temple dancers are separate. The atrocity literatures created made both of them look like same and then destroyed the temple dancers tradition. All right, have you removed the prostitution? No. They removed anything, any enjoyment associated with Hinduism. Not that they removed the prostitution itself. No. This large atrocity material need to be countered with authentic material getting translated into international languages and making it available. Making it available. Varnashrama Dharma Brahmana is a torch for the society. Chandalatva fellows are torture for the society. Next.
What is the relation of Pitta layer and decision fatigue?
Listen. When you develop decision fatigue, it physically becomes a Pitta layer on your brain. When you allow that Pitta layer to remain, the decision fatigue becomes your muscle memory and biomemory. It is like a vicious cycle. The vicious circle you are caught in. If you break the Pitta layer, you will get into the virtuous circle. More joy, less Pitta layer, less decision fatigue, and more joy. It just becomes virtuous circle. Here this side, Pitta layer, more decision fatigue, and more Pitta layer, and more decision fatigue, and more Pitta layer, more decision fatigue. It is vicious cycle. The relationship between Pitta layer and decision fatigue is a relationship of vicious layer or virtuous layer. Vicious circle or virtuous circle. Up to you. So with this, I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.